Yeah. All right, very good. All right. Sound check. Testing. Oh yeah. Yeah. Testing. Okay, most high in Christ. All right, shalom, Israel. Shalom, and shout out to the newly raised trooper Kardashia Allah.
Yeah.
Most high in Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Shabbat Thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Salakia. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai to the sisters. We at ISBK, Israel School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, sold out of 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, under the Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. We've been teaching the truth since 1969 that all so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that the oppressor, as you know today, the Europeans are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, with that being said today, one second. We're going to be going over, we're going to go back to the beginning, which is actually Genesis. Genesis actually does mean in the beginning. We're going to be going over Cain and Abel. Some people might be familiar with this topic. Some people might not be familiar with this topic, so which is one of the reasons why we're going to go over it and go over the importance of always pretty much putting your best foot forward. You know, you don't ever want to, slacking for my language, you don't want to half-ass anything. You can take that into many different aspects in life, but I'll just leave it at that. You got anything before we start?
Man, I was wild. Let's get with it.
All right. So with that being said, just me and the brother up here, Amadim, which means to stand. La'ashala, which is Hebrew which means to Israel. Sorry. Amadim upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. We're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. As usual, brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered when attending class and doing the prayers. That being said, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shalash, Ayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malakah, Zaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Ayah, Ashmar, Tanunau, come, call, Yawam, Wasalat now, Waf now, Tabayana, Sion, Ball, Howard Shine now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Allah, Power, Avalumi, Aman. Okay.
The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
So yeah.
A cock which is the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'al Kashai, the Thunlanawa, Hakak, La Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wahala Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazariah, Hakak, La Hakwayam, Hamathim, Hakak, Al Rakawath, Ha Tama'ala, the Garshun, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amen.
This is Hakak, which is the power in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please
Give us the power.
the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean
the
spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out
to cast them out.
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you. So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barak, Atah, Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Ma'yaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabab Ya'ah, Alawat, Yahana, Ha Alawat Yum, Hasaranyum, Hakwasazayum, Hakayayayum, Wa Ha'akat Watyum, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amen.
The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Michael.
and Michael,
And the angels.
and the angel,
Commanding General Yohanan.
managing Yohana,
The generals.
the general,
The captains.
the captain,
The officers.
officer,
The troopers.
and
And the sisters.
the sisters,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai,
Thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah,
Asha'ah.
Ayanya,
Ayanya.
Al,
All.
Haharyam,
Aharyam.
Mahayam,
Mahayam.
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah,
Zoya.
Isaiah,
Zoya.
Mayam,
Ma'im.
Ma'im, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Asha,
Asha.
Shemayim,
Shemayim.
Wa'arataza,
Wa'aratazah.
Al Yatan,
All you're done.
Lamawat,
Watts.
Wagarka,
Galka.
Al Yanawam, Al Yanawam,
All you're Nawam.
Shamarka,
Shamarka.
Hana,
Hana.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yanawam,
Yanawam.
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah.
Yayashan,
Yayashun.
Shawamar,
Shawamar.
Yasha'al,
Yasha'al.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shamarka,
Shamarka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Tazalka,
Tazalka.
Al-Yad,
Yad.
Yamyaka,
Yamimka.
Yawaman,
Yawamam.
Hashamash,
Hashamash.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yakaka,
Yakaka.
Wayarak,
Wayarak.
Balayala,
Balayallah.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka.
Makal,
Call.
Rai,
Rai.
Yashamar,
Shamar.
Athla Paska,
Athna Pasha.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamar,
Yashamar.
Taza Afka,
Taza Afka.
Wabawaka,
Wabawa Afka.
my Ata,
My the.
wa I will love.
I will love. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot
He
to
will
be
not
moved.
suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Israel
that keepeth Israel
shall not slumber
shall not slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The
thee
Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going
The Lord
out
shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time
from
forth
this time forth
and even
and even
forevermore.
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka,
all Damayalaka,
Al the Ka'arash,
all Thakarash,
wa all the Dashakwat,
all Thashakwat,
wa all Dashakwat, all
all
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awa Yabaidaka,
our Yebuka,
Yahamiah 1.
Yahamiah 1.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Amakah.
Al-Amakah.
Ya'irayamya.
Ya I am what?
Sawadah.
Sawadah.
Wayatha.
Wa'atha.
Ya'itazawa.
Ya'itazawa.
Al-Tazapah 1 Yaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amara.
Amawa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakia. Wanakakidum.
Wanakakidum.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala I Yazakar.
Wala I Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Shem Yasha'ala.
Awada.
Awda.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Atazawa.
Nawa Itazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Kadwa.
Al Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
By Bariath. Bariath.
Baryath.
Yakarath. Ya.
Yakarathwa.
Ahaya.
Ahaya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Washamai.
Washama.
Washama.
Yeah.
Wa Yashamai. Alyum.
Wa Yashama Alyum.
Mawa Abba.
Our Abba.
Wahagarium.
Wahagoyim.
Gabal.
Ball.
Wa'ai Mawam.
Why am a one?
Wa'ai Malak.
Why am a lock?
Palash. Palashat.
Palashat.
I'm Yeshaya.
I'm Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Aman.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labunya Lawat.
Labunya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Aisha Lahum.
Aisha Laham.
Kamadian.
Kamadyam.
Kasayasara.
Kasayasara.
Kayabwan.
Kayabyam.
Kayamyam. Balakal.
Kor.
Puyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamabwa.
Shabadwa.
Bayan. Ba-ara.
Bayan Ba'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nadam.
Nada.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Ka'ara.
Kaira.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Bak.
Wakaza Bak.
Wakatazal Manai.
Wakata Zormanai.
Call Nasai Yakamwa.
Call Nasayakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amawa.
Nayarash. Naya Rashab.
They are shot.
Lanawa.
Now.
Na'awa.
Now. Waf.
Alawayam. Alahayam.
Allahayam.
Alahayam.
Allahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagagala.
Kagagala.
Kakwash.
Kwash.
Lapon Rawaka'a.
Lapunya Rawaka'a.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba'ara. Ya'ara.
Taba'ara Ya'ara.
Wa Kalahaba.
Wa Kalahaba.
Talohat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Kun.
Dara the Pama.
Tharadatma.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapatka.
Wapathka.
Taba'alam.
Taba'alam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyahum.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Waya'a.
Waya.
Bakwashwa.
Bakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Bashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahalawa.
Bahawa.
Aya.
Ayai.
Waya.
Waya.
Ka'apara.
Kapawa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abida.
Abadwa.
Waya da'awa.
Waya Dawa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Atha.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Badka.
Aliwan.
Aliwan.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Alratiza.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo.
Thine
Thine enemies
enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up their
have
head.
lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people
against thy people
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come
come
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more
may be
remembered.
no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against
the
thee,
tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
the Hagarenes,
the Hagarenes,
the
Baal,
and
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
with
the inhabitants of Tyre,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also was joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They have
Lot.
hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Median,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of the sun,
which perished at Endor,
which perished at
They
Endor,
became as dung for
and
earth.
they became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a
Raise
ram,
their nobles like Orel
as Aid,
and as Aid.
yea, all their princes,
All their princes
as a Ba,
as a Ba
and as a Moon,
and as a Moon,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God,
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as they stumble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on
and
fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with
them
thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy
with
storm.
thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to
let
shame
them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high over all the earth.
Sorry, excuse me. All right, maybe seated. All right, so we're going to be reading, like I said, from the beginning. Genesis actually means the beginning, in the beginning. It's the first book. So we're going to go to chapter 4. We're going to go pretty early. So we're going to be talking about Cain and Abel and the significance behind the accounts of Cain and Abel. So this will be Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. We'll go verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. For those who have attended the High Holy Day, you would know this now, that we go through the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we go through it in English. So that being said, verse 1, Da Yahadom, Yadai Af, Chaya, Ashafya, Yatha Ha'ad, Yatha La'ad Af, Kwayan, Yatha Ma'ad, it's like Yatha Ma'ar, Kwan Yatha Ayash Af, Yahweh, Yatha Ta'an, La Da'af Af, Akaya Af, Habal, Yahweh, Habal, Ra'ai, Tazayan, Yakwa'an, Haya, Ibad, let's see, Adama, Yahweh, Makwa'ai, Yum, Ma'a, Kwayon, Mapara'a, Hadama'a, Mankaya, La Ya'an, Ya'ba'o, Yahab'o, Habaya'a, Gum, Haya, Makamara'ath, Tazanaya, Yamala'an, Yasha'ai, Yahweh, all, Habal, Ya'o, Munkathaya, Ya'o, Tanya, Kwayan, Ya'o, Kathaya, La'a, Sha'aya, Yakar, Laquayon, Ma'ad, Yapala, Panya, Yamara, Yahweh, or Quayon, La Ma'ad, Kara'at, La'an, Yalama'at, let's see, Napala'at, Panya, Ya'ar, Hala'at, Hala'aya, Thata Ya'ab, Sha'af, Ya'on La'a, Na Thata Ya'ab, La Patha'ak, Ata'a, Raba'ai, Ya La'an, Thasha Quathaya, Ya Tha'a, Thamasha'al, Quaya. All right, that's it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
So read that from the top one more time, Brother Michelle. 5? Yeah, 5.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
He had not respect. Keep going.
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thou countenance fallen? Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
So again, right there, right? It says, if thou doest well,
right,
shalt thou not be accepted? Keep going.
Shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
Keep going.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Keep going.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
It says that he did what to him?
And Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
So the slew, we can pretty much determine that, you know, he slayed his brother. He murdered his brother. Right? Now, this is his brother, right? Why would Cain do something like this? If you keep going, Brother Michelle.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
So now if I could just talk about that real quick. We do not say my brother's keeper here in the school. Because when you read the scriptures, you really understand what that term actually means. Like you see a lot of like, you know, fake Christians and people in the world. They'll be like, you know, this is my brother's keeper. I'm my brother's keeper. They'll get it tatted on them and all that stuff. We see it quite a bit. But a lot of them, well, first of all, you shouldn't get no tattoos. That's against the Bible. Right. So you're already wrong in that. But you're also wrong because you don't actually know what Cain meant when he said that. This was a slick remark. When the Lord asked him, where is your brother? Cain looked at him, like he looked at the Lord. Right. I don't want to gloss over that. He looked at the Lord and was like, am I my brother's keeper? Like,
he's smart at it.
Smart at it. Like you see it a lot of times today when brothers or anybody will be like, what you mean? Right. That's kind of what we say, like, what you mean? Like, like I'm not in charge of him. Like, He a grown man. That's what a lot of brothers out in the world do.
Right.
This now, you know, mind you, this is after he's already murdered his brother.
Right.
But let's keep going. You at verse 10.
And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
So we'll stop real quick right there, right? So a couple of things, right? A couple of things we can talk about just in these first 13 verses. I propose the question as to why did Cain unalive his own brother? Like, what did Abel do? Well, the reason why he chose to unalive his brother was because, put it like this, Cain was a slacker.
Right.
Cain was a slacker. Abel, he actually was a brother who was willing to put his best foot forward. So in a term that you could use today, Cain was hating on his brother.
Right.
So much that he killed his brother.
Right.
And sadly, we see that a lot today in the world with brothers and sisters. There'd be a lot of brothers in the world. I mean, you kind of see it a lot with, I use rappers, for example.
They be hating.
They be hating. Like, there's a lot of rappers who made it out the hood, so they say. Still doing hood antics, but now they got money. Like, you go to the hood, sadly, a lot of times when a brother is known to have a lot of money, a lot of brothers don't want to say how much money they got because they know that there's going to be somebody out there who's going to plot on him.
Right.
They're going to hate him because he's doing well in their eyes.
Right.
So much that they'll try to kill him. And sadly, this is nothing short of what happened to Cain and Abel.
Right.
You should not be like Cain.
Right.
Don't ever say my brother's keeper. Please don't ever say that. If you actually know what that actually means.
Right.
But this also should show you, like, you should always put your best foot forward.
Right.
Cain did not do this. And because of his actions, because of his jealousy, he was punished for what he did. That's why you read in verse 13, it says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Now he's complaining like, oh my gosh, like all these horrible things are happening to me. But look at what you did. You did a horrible thing.
You took a man's life. Took your brother.
His brother.
And if I may, sir,
go ahead.
Here's what people don't understand. When they read it, you have to take your mind out of Christianity and put your mind into pragmatism, universal practical knowledge. This didn't happen the same day or the next day. This is over time. When this brother's bringing out how Cain was jealous and Cain was hating, think about a brother in the world. That takes time. The reason why Cain is hating, Cain sees that his land that he has that was allotted to him from his father, he see that it's dwindling. He see that it's not shining. His flocks on rising. His flocks aren't flourishing. He looks over at Abel. Abel's shining. Abel is shining, man. His flocks are growing. His cows are growing. His cattle is growing. His land is growing. It's flourishing. It's shining. He basically stunned on Cain without purposely stunning on Cain. He gives the Lord his best, so the Lord is blessing him. And Cain see what he has as dwindling. This is not that same day or the next day. This is time. This is time that's taking place.
If I could, real quick,
yes, sir.
Can I get Proverbs 27:4? If I could,
27. The book of Proverbs, chapter 27, and verse 4. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous. But who is able to stand before envy?
Envy is what? Jealousy. Come on. All right. This is an evil. Put it like this. Everything this brother was talking about was 100% facts. This brother had an evil spirit.
Right.
Right. Envy. And I'm glad you brought that up too. This took time.
Right.
This wasn't like a one-time thing. Like they just woke up, they did one offering, and then all of a sudden Cain got mad and was like, I'm going,
that day. Right.
It's like it festered in it built up in them over time. And you gotta think, like, how, let's be real, we've all seen it before. We've seen how people in the world hate on each other. They sit there and just kind of, I can't stand this. Like they sit there, they start acting funny, they move funny.
Right.
Like it starts to build in them. And then, like you said, over time, it may get so great that now they want to harm you.
That's crazy.
All right. It might not even be murder. It could be like, okay, let's think about like a job. Everyday job, right?
Let's get him fired.
Yeah, let's get him fired. Or I don't like the fact that this person is such a hard worker and they get so much praise. I'm gonna do something to sabotage them.
Right.
That's evil. Envy, jealousy is an evil spirit. What you got?
Psalms 83.
Oh, you
If I may.
okay.
That spirit that Cain had and has on the earth today,
Right,
is the same spirit that's spoken about in Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
right,
and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Who's confederate against us? The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Basically, when you read Psalms 83, and this is why we bring it up, and going to Cain, that's that spirit. They don't hate us for no reason. These other Africans don't hate you for no reason. No one hates you for nothing. No one hates a bum by a trash can smoking crack. No one hates you. No one hates a person they're not worried about. Like you're hating. You're hating because why? This person here is doing something that afflicts your spirit. Africans, East Indians, the people in the Isles, Japhetic people, Edom, Esau. They hate us. Why? Because we're the Lord's chosen. This is not a one-day thing. This is over time. You ever just talk to yourself and ask yourself, why do these people hate me? What have I done? I've never done anything personal to anybody to hate me outside of my race, I would say, because you only deal with people in your race. They hate you regardless. You can be black, not bothering anybody. They're going to hate on you regardless. Why? Because they know innately, they don't know in their mind, but they know in their mind innately that you are the princes of power. You are the Lord's chosen. You are the one the Lord chose. So they just have to hate. It's in them. It's the spirit of Cain. We don't get too deep into it, but the spirit of Cain is in Esau. It's in him. He has to hate you. White people don't even know why. They just hate niggas. They hate black people. They hate Hispanics. For why? You ain't done nothing to them. You just trying to get a job, get a 9 to 5, and mind your business. But they somehow hate you. Why? It's in them. The spirit of Cain is in them. Salakia.
No, you told me. Can I get Proverbs 14 and 30?
Come on, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14,
14 and 30.
And 30. Yeah, I got you. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy, the rottenness of the bone.
Pretty much like we were talking about, like envy, like it stirs up in you. It's like food. Food takes time to rot.
Right.
Just like how I'm paraphrasing, I believe it's in the Apocrypha where it says, iron rusteth.
Right.
Iron, it takes time. You know what I mean? It takes time to build. And like the brother just brought up too, which is actually a heavy point, the spirit of Cain, just stay with us, is on the earth. It's been in the earth.
Right.
That's why when we bring up things like, perfect example, we bring up how these other nations hate you. Now, I'll level with you, right? Does every single heathen really go out of their way to hate you?
Right.
Honestly, no. But here's the problem with, I want to address this before I continue. What we have to stop doing is we choose to try to look for the good in other nations, but we are not willing to try to look for the good within our own nation.
Right.
Like you see a lot of brothers and sisters today, they'll have that one friend, white boy, whoever. And they found that one. They found the one white person who doesn't try to kill you.
Right.
The one white person who, is nice and, is kind. Okay, that's cool. Like, I mean, he should be. I mean, I'm sorry that we're giving brownie points for being a basic human being.
Right.
With some kind of empathy.
Right.
Cool. You bumped into the one. What about them as a whole?
Right.
You're looking at an individual, but you're not looking at it as a whole. But you're not willing to do the same with your own people.
Right.
We are quick to say, I hate to say it, but black people don't like black people. There's Latinos that have beef with other Latinos due to location, which is why.
Right.
I'll never understand. But you'll do that within your own community, but you try to look for the good in everybody else that's not with you. Little do you know, as a nation, they hate you. Because look at the things that we have to deal with. I watched a video not that long ago, not to get too off topic. Some young white man, I think he's like 19 or 20. Seeing his little bio, he wants to run for president. He's been on CNN and all this stuff, right? And he made a video that was so outrageous to me. I sat there and I watched it. I'm going to do a video on it later, but his claim was, I remember he specifically said, at some point we're going to have to pretty much address the truth. And one of the biggest problems, his claim is black privilege. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, please tell me more. I would love to hear this. This man, just like how many other people, and I want to get into this, just like how many other people agree with him. That video had 1.7 million views with, I believe, over 250,000 likes.
That's great.
And they were white people.
Right.
Because deep down, they do hate you. It's just that now they're not as open to it. Times the difference is 2023. You got to respect everybody's personal beliefs. So now it's not as accepted. But just remember, not that long ago when Trump was in office, all of these white people came back out. Like, you think they just disappeared? You think the KKK disappeared? You think the neo-Nazis just disappeared?
Went away.
Like, they just, okay, well, I'm not racist no more.
That day.
That day. That's all it took. Like, okay, no, you're not allowed to be like that anymore. Because think about it. Esau, in his eyes, he already won.
Right.
They already did the killing and the lynching and the dragging you through the street and the slave. They did all that. Now it's like, okay, well, there's no reason to keep putting you down unless you start putting your best foot forward, like how Abel did, and you choose to not fit the stereotype.
Right.
You choose to not be a statistic. You choose to be a hardworking, so-called Black or Latino citizen. You got some money legally, because that's another thing. You let you be a black man or a Latino man and you got money. Let you be a Mexican man with money.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, he got to be dealing with the cartel.
So it's like, and if I may,
Go ahead.
As a Israelite with money legally, and let's say you have a nice car, you're getting pulled over.
Oh my gosh.
And there is no way this nigga can be in a 2020 Benz.
Now where's that though? That's envy.
Come on, there's no way you're black behind of being a Beamer from 2020 up. There's no way you can smell good and dress nice in a nice car, having a nice life. They have to ruin it. Here's what's the funny part. Even being poor and happy, they have to ruin it. They may, we brought it out, I think last week, maybe the week before, about how a brother can be sitting on his porch in the ghetto with a beer in his hand. They're coming to mess that up. They're going to take you to jail. Why? They just have to.
You know what's funny, if I could?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it was a video I seen like maybe last year. This is last year. And it was like a trend. It's going to sound so stupid, but just to reiterate what you're talking about. There was a trend of, I kid you not, black men being happy being happy.
That's great.
That's it. That's it. Like nothing crazy, just positivity.
Right.
And for a while, I didn't see the videos no more. I didn't think nothing. I was like, okay, it's a trend. Trends come and go. And then I remember the brother who started it. He made another video not too long after. He's like, "Why did all my videos get taken down? I didn't do anything. Y'all upset to see us happy?" I'm like, wow. But that's deep. That's deep. Okay. But here's the thing. You should not, first of all, we should all recognize now that envy is a horrible spirit.
Right.
It's wicked as hell. It's unbrotherly. It's not good to have that kind of spirit. Every brother that you have ever seen in the Bible, and today, that has ever been jealous or had envy, or think about Saul. Saul was jealous of David. He tried to kill him. Judas, he threw away Christ.
Right.
I'm just naming a few. There's plenty of other instances, but my whole point is you should not embody that spirit of envy, because there will be nothing good coming from it. That's a demon. That's a different kind of demon. Okay? Don't be like Cain. You should be like Abel and put your best foot forward with whatever you do. I believe Babylon was going over this a little bit yesterday. You come into the truth, it's just like anything else. Anything else in this world. You want something to work, you have to put in the work for it. You want to make more money. No sweat. Like, we would never discourage anybody from making more money. But what do you have to do? You got to learn your craft. Right. You got to have, the education. You got to have the credentials. You got to work. Because, sadly, we God's chosen people, but we're not just going to get paid for being God's chosen people. Right. What you got?
John 14, 13.
I know what you're about to go there.
And whatsoever, this is Christ speaking, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Why is you have to ask yourself, why is Christ telling people, hey man, anything you ask in my name to glorify the Father, I will do it for you. And right after that, he says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. You really, when you start, you do a couple seasons in here, you become a seasoned brother. You understand why Christ is saying what he's saying, when he's saying what he's saying, why he's saying what he's saying, how he's saying what he's saying. He's telling you, hey, look, ask me for anything so that the Father will be glorified. I would do it. But the only way that I would do those things for you that you ask is if you love me. And if you love me, you will keep my commandments. Put your best foot forward.
Exactly.
Why would you ask the Lord? Why would you ask the Lord to bless you through Christ? To give you something that you want. To give you something that will make you happy. To give you something that will take your pain away. Why would you ask Christ these things if you're not doing what he's asking of you? He's asking you to serve him. He's asking you to put your best foot forward. He's asking you to show up at high holy days. He's asking you to log in with classes. He's asking you to not eat pork. He's asking you to not be an adulterer or an adulteress. These are things he's asking you to do. And if he's asking you to do it and you do it, and when you ask him for something as simple as, you may be a brother who wants a wife. You may be a brother who wants children. You may be a sister who wants a husband. You may be a brother, sister, a child of Israel, a prince or princess of the power. You may ask of things that'll make you content, a job, something of that nature, something that you can help yourself and help your nation. Yeah, you're not getting it if you're not putting your best foot forward. Exactly. Oh, don't worry. You would never get a job. You would never get a wife. You would never get a husband, a righteous one, if you're not putting your best foot forward to serve the Lord, to serve Christ. That's your problem. You want so much. You ask for so much, but yet you give so little. Exactly. You want all these things to be great and wonderful in your life. You want to not be depressed. You want to not be sad. You want to not have any problems. But yet, you give the Lord problems. How do you expect to not have problems when you give the one who gives you problems?
Exactly.
Think about a child. Yeah, my child might want a game. He might want to go outside. His grades aren't up. He's disrespectful. He's talking back. My wife might want to go out and have a good time on the city. She's disrespectful. She talks back. She's rude as hell. She's a bitch. How does she or that child expect me to bless them with anything that I have when they're giving me the bare minimum, when they're giving me a little, when they want a lot? I can't do it. You can't do it. Your husband may want something from you. I just leave it at that. Does he deserve it if he's giving the bare minimum? Bare minimum?
I'm glad you touching on these
Come on.
things, because if I could we're gonna read two things. Could you give me Titus 2:7?
Come on, sir.
And I'm gonna read I got a few actually.
Let's go.
So okay, I'll read first. I'm gonna read Proverbs 13:4 real quick.
Come on, sir.
So just stay at Titus. So it says in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4, the soul of a sluggard desireth and hath nothing.
Come on.
But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Now, this is like literally anything that you that's why I said you could take this, it's from anything in your life.
Right.
Anything, right? Whether it be the truth, whether it be any goals that you may have, you have to be willing to put in the work. Like, perfect example, I know a lot of sisters, you want to lose weight or do whatever, like, and that's cool.
Right.
But okay, well, what are you doing to accomplish that?
Right.
Like for brothers, like, you say you want this degree, you want this certification, like you want a great job and make all this money and stuff. Okay, well, what are you doing to do that?
Right.
You say you want a righteous woman in your life. It's like, okay, that's good. I think every brother should have a righteous woman in his life, at least one.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, well, what are you doing to get to that?
Right.
Same thing for a sister. You want a righteous man in your life. Okay, cool. What are you doing to be deserving of that? Everything in this world requires work. Everything.
Faith without works is dead.
Exactly. If I could you give me Titus?
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 7.
Go ahead.
In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works.
Yep.
In doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. Verse 8. Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Sir.
There's a reason we bringing this stuff out, man. Right? We got a couple more too. Like this also boils down to practice what you preach. So, right. All right. Don't say this and do this.
Come on.
Okay. Because even when you think the Lord is not watching me, I cannot stress this enough. I know we repeat it every class because we really want to like get it in your head. Okay. The Lord is always watching. Even when you think he's not watching. He's watching. When you're sleeping, he's watching. When you at the gym, he watching. When you at work, he watching. When you at the club, he watching.
Right.
When you thinking you doing stuff in secrecy and nobody else will know, the Lord knows, and this is the cold part. The Lord won't just know, he'll reveal it. Right. He'll reveal it.
He will expose you.
Exactly. So you really gotta work if this is what you really want.
Right.
So when you come into the truth, this is what we always say, you gotta change. Change is a good thing. People in the world, they'll tell you, oh, you change. The Christian church will tell you, you can come as you are. And they'll just leave it at that. They don't tell you to change. You go and like think about it. What's the reason? Let's keep it a buck right now. The main reason a lot of so-called Blacks and Latinos go to church, now all of a sudden you want to follow the Most High because you're looking for some type of salvation.
Right.
You're looking for some type of salvation. The sad part is that we have a lot of Pharisees out here, just like how we had during biblical times, and you follow these Pharisees, and they're giving you what what tastes good, not what's good for you.
Right.
Okay, they're telling you sweet nothings. They tell you, like, especially, oh my goodness, when it comes to our women, y'all will go to church. You hear the same things. You ain't had a man in forever. We know you lonely because the Lord never designed for you to be alone anyway.
Right.
And now you go to church and you're a Christian pastor, whether it be a man or a woman, that's already a crazy thing in itself. They'll tell you sweet nothings, and then now all of a sudden you feel like, I have a relationship with God. Come on. I see a sister say, I'm married to Christ. It's like he says, Christ don't want you. Respectfully.
I don't want you.
Respectfully, Christ do not want you.
Right.
I'm not even trying to say that to hurt nobody's feelings. That man who is still alive, by the way, has plenty of other things to be worrying about.
Right.
But think of it like this. How can you say, oh, you married to Christ, the perfect brother, and you are not perfect yourself? You can't even maintain the relationship you have now, but you think Christ won't want you. But you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is what you're being taught. You're being taught what feels good. You're not being taught to change.
Right.
You're not being told, sis or brother, you should lay off the alcohol. Hey, you should go seek, like therapy, and like you should get counseling. You should deal with your family in whatever way. You should do certain things to change certain things in your life. Go ahead.
If I may,
Go ahead.
brother, you should go try to get a degree. You should try to go learn a trade.
Yeah.
It's not a knock, and this is real brotherhood, for a brother to build you up, a sister to help build you up. Sister, I know you want to lose weight. He brought it out earlier. Yeah, you have to go to the gym. Brother, I know you want to make some more money. Yeah, go get an education. You're only going to be older longer than you're going to be younger. You can start today. Get yourself in school. Enroll yourself. Better yourself, if I may. Matthew 5:48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. You don't become perfect by not perfecting yourself. Perfecting yourself does not mean sit around and pray some sprinkled magic fall on you.
What they be having them rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The holy oil. No. Faith without works is dead. Be ye perfect means to perfect yourself, which means to work. Work to perfect yourself. You don't stop smoking weed by not working to not smoke weed. You don't stop having sex with whores to not work to stop you from having sex with whores. You're not gonna not be a whore unless you work at not being a whore. You have to get yourself out of those positions, which makes you that. You have to work. You have to work, which is the whole topic of this. Work. And when you are working, put your best foot forward. Give your all in all things that you do. Don't be a sluggard. Don't be lazy. Don't say, oh, the Lord gonna bless me. Yeah, no, he's not.
Oh my goodness.
Don't not. Women in the world, they always be like, Christ gonna send me a man. No, he's not. He's not sending you a damn thing. You have to work to get a man. The same way you have to work to get a woman. Your work may not be as the work of a man, but you still have to work to get a man, a righteous one, the one you want. Yeah, you got 100 dudes in your DMs. You have 100 guys calling you. You have 100 guys checking on you. But do they really want you?
And if I could, real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
for the people out there who are married, marriage is work too.
It's a job.
Everything is working, like you said. Put your best foot forward. Because think about it, you brothers were talking about this not that long ago. You'll put your best foot forward when you want to get interested in sports,
Right.
You like you do not play football at all. You don't even work out, but you know every stat. You know every player. You know everything. Who's getting traded where?
Right.
That is all you are into. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for brothers to have hobbies.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
A hobby.
Exactly. A hobby. But the thing is, you're putting your all into that. Okay, that's cool. But then you complain, oh, my marriage is in shambles.
Come on.
Or I don't have a good relationship with my child.
Right.
Things that really matter. Football, look, football is football. Okay, you play the game. I get it. Like some brothers, me myself, I like playing video games. Every brother like playing video games to some extent. But there's some brothers, bro, real like you think you're in the game, and then you start to neglect everything else. Then you wonder why you and your wife are not getting along. You wonder why your kid feels neglected.
Right.
People are like, man, and I never hear from you. But then you feel like, man, like I don't have a good relationship. But what are you doing? This is you're putting your best foot forward in 2K.
A game?
A game. You playing Fortnite.
A game?
But you don't want to put your best foot forward in things that really matter.
Right.
Every year there's a new game. Every year there's a new person who joins a sports team.
Come on.
Every year there's a new champion. But worry about the things that really matter. That's what we're trying to wrap it all into.
Right.
Worry about the things that really matter. Abel, he realized that serving the Lord was what really mattered.
Right.
So he put his best foot forward.
And what happened to him?
That brother died.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
When you get seasoned, when you really understand why the Lord has had these records kept for thousands of years, you get to understand the meaning of things. Abel put his best foot forward to serve the Lord. He died because of it. You know who else put his best foot forward to serve the Lord?
Go ahead.
Jesus the Christ. Mm-hmm. And guess what? He died for it. That is how you should be. You should be a person who puts their best foot forward to serve the Lord. And because you put your best foot forward, and because you understand the ramifications of it and the blessings of it, you know that you are willing to die for it. This is not no club, man. This is not no little game. This is not something you can get in, get out, play around with. This is not one of the things you do with your buddy. Throw up your little set, your click.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
This is life or death. That's why the scriptures say, he that shall lose his life shall find it. You have to be willing to sacrifice anything for this. The Lord is not calling you. That's why he's telling you, hey man, he who puts father and mother before me, he who puts son and daughter before me is not worthy of me. You're not willing to die for this. So why shall the Lord be willing to keep you alive? Why should the Lord save your life when you're not trying to save your own life?
Exactly.
How do you save your life? Serving the Lord, keeping the commandments, putting your best foot forward. A person in the world, a Christian, will tell you you can't be perfect. Why? Because they don't believe in change. They don't think there's no way they can change. That's a personal reflection of them. They're wicked as hell, and they're going to stay that way. You can be smoking weed right now. Guess what? You can stop right now. 5 seconds ago, you could have been smoking weed. Right now, you can stop. You could have been a whore last night. Today, you could not be a whore.
Exactly. There's still time.
There's
still time.
We have grace. We have mercy. There's time to put your best. You was the best whore. You was the best whoremonger. You was the best drug dealer. You was the best sinner. Why not be the best servant?
If I could, can I get 1 Samuel 12 and 24?
Come on, sir. 12 and 24?
Yeah, 1 Samuel 12 and 24.
It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 24. Only fear the Lord.
Yep.
And serve him in truth with all your heart.
Some of your heart.
With all your heart.
A little bit of your heart.
With all your heart.
Keep going.
For consider how great things he have done for you.
if I could, real quick, right? Because you touched on something real heavy. You should serve the Lord as if you're willing to die.
Come on.
You should. And I know here's the thing. Some people might look at this class and think like, well, what's the point of doing what Abel did? He still died. I'm gonna level with you. For all the sisters and brothers out there, your soul is gonna go back to the Most High at some point. Understand that. But you should be willing. What's that saying? Man that doesn't stand for anything falls for everything. Falls for everything. Now there are people before. Think about what your ancestors did. Put it like that, right? Your ancestors. Let's be real. A lot of us are alive today because of the sacrifices that our ancestors had to make.
Right.
Like y'all do. We of course bring up slavery. We could bring up the civil rights movement. You know, a lot of our ancestors, they had to fight. They had to put in work so that we could at least have what we have now. And even now, like, it still ain't that great. I ain't saying America's the greatest place ever, because it's really not.
Right.
But I'm saying at least you got what you got now. Because let's say we didn't have brothers and sisters who tried to flee their slave masters at the time.
Right.
Let's say we didn't have brothers and sisters who tried to pave the way during the civil rights movement. Look, I'll take it a step further. You should look at the brothers and sisters who came into the school,
right?
The ISUPK, the Commander General Yohana, before you, so that they can make it better for you.
Right.
All right. And guess what? A lot of them had to sacrifice. A lot of them died, even passed on. But guess what? Their body might have passed on, but their legacy kept going. Come on. That's what you got. Like Abel died.
Right.
He did. And wrongfully so. But look at it like this. Things that were written aforetime are meant for our learning, correct? So you now, thankfully, because of what Abel did, the character of who he was,
right,
we are able to go all the way back in the beginning in Genesis chapter 4. It's the first book. And we can read, okay, you know what? This is an example of what a man should be.
Yes, sir.
Of what a woman should be.
Right.
To put your best foot forward.
Right.
All right. Even though you're gonna have people that hate you.
Right.
You know, I'll tell you something. I think my father told me when I was a kid. He's like, look, it don't matter what you do. Somebody's not gonna like you. Somebody's not gonna like you, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. At some point, you got to get that out of your head. Because I admit, I was young. I was a kid. It used to get to me. We were all immature at some point. But I had to learn, like, okay, you know what? I can't worry about what everybody else is worried about.
Right.
I need to know, okay, what I'm doing right?
Right.
Morally so. We might not be the richest brothers when it comes to money, but we are rich in faith. Very rich in faith.
James 2:5.
All right, go ahead.
You know, let's go to the book of James.
Go ahead.
Chapter 2, verse 5. I'm glad that brother said that. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen? Have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him? The brother brought it out. We may not be the richest people. That's okay. No, we may not have the richest, the worldly riches. But we are the richest people. We're rich in faith. We are promised the kingdom. We are heirs to the kingdom. Sisters, you are heir to the kingdom. You are in the school, you are heir to this kingdom. You are making your election sure. Exactly. And what I want to touch, if I may, I want to touch on what you brought up with Abel. In your mind, you think Abel died. Right. The spirit of Abel is alive and well. It is alive and thriving. The spirit of Abel is back on the earth, the same way the spirit of Cain is on the earth. Everything we speak of from the beginning is to the end. There's nothing new under the sun. The spirit of Cain is on the earth. We know who is through. The spirit of Abel is on the earth.
we know who is through. There is a wicked bastard out here who is killing the Israelites for no reason. There are wicked people out here who hate you because you're thriving. You're not thriving physically in riches, but you're thriving in faith. You're thriving because the Lord wants you to thrive. You're thriving because why? You are now putting your best foot forward. You who's watching this class, keep watching class. Keep coming to class. Keep serving the Lord. Keep putting your best foot forward. Exactly. You will not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That's Isaiah 45:17, one of my favorite scriptures. Why? This is a world without end. Why is it a world without end? Because we will continue to put our faith, we will continue to put our best foot forward in serving the Lord. James 2:5, again, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor? God chose us. He knows the position we in. This is James. This is a few thousand years ago, a couple thousand years ago. This is James saying it. This is me honoring James. This is us honoring James. This is the Lord honoring James and having his words put in this book that we can read today. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world? The poor. Yes, you. The poor of this world. The ones who are living in duplexes. The ones who are living in apartments with thin walls and you hear everything next door. The one who's living in the projects. The ones who live in the ghetto, in the hood, the slums. God has chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith. Rich in faith. It's okay, be poor. Don't remain poor. Try to get something, but it's okay if you're poor. Be rich in faith. Be rich in spirit. And you will be this, heirs of the kingdom of the king. Heirs. You know what an heir is? An heir is someone who has to get it. He's my heir. She's my heir. I'm going to pass it down to them. Heirs of the kingdom, which he have promised to them that love him. He promised it to the ones that love him. He promised it. Think about it. He promised you who love him that he's going to give you the kingdom of heaven. What is love? What is love? Ask yourself that. What is love? Then you go to the Bible. The Bible tells you in the book of John, love is keeping the commandments.
I believe that's what, 15 and 14?
15 and 14. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
That's something.
This isn't hard. Have faith. Love the Lord. Put your best foot forward. Guess what? You will be an heir to the kingdom.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
No, that's it. Look, that's pretty much the whole premises of this class. Always put your best foot forward. Don't be discouraged to put your best foot forward, right? Because I wanted to. I didn't want to scare anybody off, of course. I'm going over this account with Abel because I get it. Like some people might look at it, you're not looking at the deeper aspect. You might think, oh well, he still died. So because some people don't have any faith, and I get it, and they may think like, well, it doesn't matter if I'm a good person or a bad person. Right. I'm still gonna die. Well, I'll level with you. You're gonna die regardless. Right. It's gonna happen at some point. But what are you gonna do on your time on earth? What are you gonna do for your next of kin? Because one day we gonna pass on. But what about your kids? What about your kids' What about your kids' kids? It's gotta start you. Exactly.
When you come back.
Exactly. That's a whole nother one.
Abel is not dead.
Hey, exactly. Abel is not dead. Abraham is not dead.
He is not.
David is not dead.
They're not dead.
Solomon is not dead.
Jeremiah, Elijah, they're not dead.
None of them are dead. They here. They somewhere. But we might not know who. But they here though.
They're here right now. They're here right now serving the Lord.
And just with that as well, Cain is also here too. Cain
Come
is
on.
here. Jezebel is here.
She's alive and thriving.
Ahab is here.
Come on.
So you need to understand you should always put your best foot forward. That's pretty much the whole topic of this class. Don't be discouraged because you can't, like we said, it's like not what we said, what the Bible says. You can't have works without faith.
Come on.
You can't. Just like you put your faith, you put your faith in that BBL.
You put your faith in it.
You put your faith in the BBL. You put your faith in the tax returns. You put your faith in getting a promotion. You put your faith in you getting dressed up going to the club and you about to go pick up some whore.
Or be a whore.
You put your faith in that. So how about you put your faith in something that actually matters?
Right. Something that benefits you.
Exactly.
You're not benefiting by being a whore. The evils that you're doing does not benefit you. The wickedness that you do does not benefit you, if I may. Mm-hmm. Being a righteous brother, being a righteous sister, being a righteous person is what benefits you. You know what I know? And this is why I really love these scriptures. Love not the world. Because things in the world do not benefit you. They don't benefit. Look at all those marriages in the world. They don't work. Look at all the men you had sex with in the world. It didn't work. It did because you was wicked as hell and you was with a wicked ass nigga. Brothers, think about all the sisters you had sex with. It didn't work. You're not still having sex with a wife. You was wicked as hell, and she was wicked as hell. It didn't benefit you. Exactly. You had sex, it did not benefit you. Yeah, you bust one, if I may, but it didn't benefit you in the long run. You just gave up your body for no reason. It didn't benefit you. Mm-hmm. In here, what you do benefits you. Yeah, you get a wife, you get a husband in here, it benefits you. You have a child in the world, that child does not benefit you. That child is going to put you through hell. You're going to have to go bail his ass out of jail. You know why? Because he's not beneficial to you. That child in the world is probably a burden to you. That child in the truth, those children that learn the truth and become a new person in the truth, they benefit you. Because why? They will honor their mother and their father. That child in the world will have your behind at a what's the homes called for old people?
Not a retirement home though. Is it a retirement?
Is it a retirement home? I don't even know.
Those things.
Yeah, they will have your behind in there. A child who loves his parents, don't worry, they're gonna honor their parents. The same way you change his diaper is the same way he's gonna change your diaper. The same way she's gonna change your diaper. Yeah. Things in the world don't benefit you. Things in here does benefit you. Friendship in the world does not benefit you. Y'all both just smoke weed. Y'all both just had the same demon. Y'all both were whores. Your homegirl that you knew were, yeah, she's a whore, and you was whoring right along with her. I believe I can say whore. Y'all was whoring alone together. It didn't benefit you. You caught an STD. Or you just became a woman who a brother speaks about lowly. He speaks lowly of you. You're like, y'all knock off. That's it.
You don't. That's not even a compliment. You don't want that.
Why would you want to be there? Yeah. And what's crazy today, sisters is turning it into they'll do it and do away with it, as if it benefits her, as if she's one upping you. You're not one upping me. I'm the one who did what I needed to do and got rid of you. You getting rid of me doesn't matter in the world. In the truth, yeah, you have sex with a person, it benefits you. Why? Because now you're going to be in a thriving relationship, a relationship that works. You're going to be in a great marriage. You're going to produce children. And you're going to serve the Lord. She's going to serve the Lord. He's going to serve the Lord. And guess what? All in all, you're putting your best foot forward. Because why? It's going to benefit you. Love not the world, nor the things that are in the world. Why? It doesn't benefit you. You put your best foot forward in the world. Put your best foot forward in the truth. It's
It's worth a try.
It's worth it.
It's worth a try. Just try it.
What Alcoholics Anonymous, they always say it works if you work it.
Plain and simple.
It works if you work it.
It works if you work it.
Come on, man.
That'll be the same for today. It works if you work
Come
it. There
on.
you go. Just like anything else.
Right.
But that's pretty much it. Just take that into account. Look at the example that not just Abel, but a lot of brothers and sisters before you have died for to be an example unto you.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that live a long life and didn't accomplish nothing.
Right.
Didn't do nothing. So, put your best foot forward in something that matters, something that will be beneficial, not just to you, but your family, your community, because if you don't, like we said earlier, that's why we touched on the whole spirit of Cain, because yes, Cain is in the earth. The spirit of Cain is in the earth. And a lot of these other nations, they do hate you. And,
Right.
there are other nations that are oppressed. I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant.
Right.
But the level of oppression to Israel is disgusting.
Right.
Because it's hated. So how are you going to combat that? Well, love your people, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, of course, and look at great men and women before you who were an example, a good example, and take that into account of your everyday life so that you can be better as well. That's all.
Yeah, man, if I may.
But
Put your best foot forward. Give it a try. You've served everybody else. You served yourself. You served every religion out here. Has it benefited you? Probably not. That's why you're in the class. Because whatever you're doing out there, it did not work. Just serve the Lord. Serve. You know what? I will tell you this. I'll talk to Karak a while back, and him and I was talking about General Hyman. And as much as everybody is scared the hell of General Hyman, when General Hyman answers the phone, he says, "This is General Hyman of the UPK.
oh, how may I serve?
How may I serve
Mhm.
you?"
Mhm.
He's putting his best foot forward to be a servant. That is why Christ told Peter, yeah, you gonna run it, but you're just gonna be the best servant. The leader is not only a great delegator, he's a great servant. He's serving you. Captain Gadalhar serves me. I serve him, but he serves me. I serve him, but he serves me. I'm grateful for these brothers. You may not understand it yet because you haven't been seasoned, or you might haven't thought about it. They're serving you from the top down.
That's really what we're doing.
Come on, man. We are servants of the Lord, which makes us servants of Israel. Priests didn't have their own land. The Levites back when they didn't have their own land. Why? Because they were so busy having to serve every other nation. Well, not nation, every other tribe.
Yeah.
They had to go out there and serve them. They had to be in their lands. Why? To make the sacrifice, to do the due diligence. I wish it was that time now. Well, yeah, damn, I didn't have to have a job. I didn't have to do anything. You could just pay me with your tithes, and I'd be okay.
I know, that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
Like, we could just serve the Lord, and that's all we got to worry about.
And get paid for it. We would have a crib, and those things that we are given by the community, by the nation, by the tribes, would suffice all the priests. Yeah, we're not at that time now. We are at the time now. Pay your tithes. Serve us so we can serve you. We don't go out on Saturdays for nothing. We go out there to serve Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They just think we yell it. It may not be expedient to them. It may not be expedient to us, but it works. You know how I know it works? I'm in here. He's in here. You're in here. It works. I digress.
That's pretty much it. So, the water for everybody that tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And with that, we'll be closing the class. All right. So with that, my name just me and the brother up here. Sorry.
La Shala.
Madim upon Yahakodam, which means to rise, it's like it, or stand and face the east. Wait a second. This will be the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakah, Taba'ah, Zaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, the Son of now, come, call, Yawam, Masalak now, Kabawat now, Kasalak now, Kabawat now, Wala'ah, Yana, the side one, ball, Shai now, Mayan, Right, Kaya, the cup, Hamalakwa, Allah, the power,
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Hakak is the power of the Hebrew, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Athanunau, Hakak, La'ah, Call, Makalah, Call, Malawah, Hakak, Atahar, Ha, Matazoraya, Hakak, La'quai, Hakak, Al, Tama'al, Bashem, Yahushai, for water,
Amen. This is the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew,
Allah, this is the blessing in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh and Michael. And the angels. Command the general Yahweh. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya,
all,
Ahoyim, Mayan, Zoya,
Ma'an, Yahweh,
Aisha,
Shemai,
Baratza,
all,
Lathan, Namawat, Gog, all, Yanawam, Shemarka, Anat, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, God, Ayah, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Ba'allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Call, Rai, Yashamar, Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Afka, Maida, I will.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy
He
soul.
shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
This time forth
and even
and even
forevermore.
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim,
Hallelujah.
all, Dami Yalakah, all, Fakarash, all, Shakwat, all, Kayahana, Awayanyaka, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al, Amaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waida, Yatazawa, Al, Tazapawanyaka, Amorwa, Lakawa, Wanakakia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasha'ala, Awuda, Kaya, Nawa, Akazawa, Laba, Yakawa, Ayaka, Barya, Ahoya, Other woman, Wa, Yashama Aliyah, Mawa Abba, Wahagoria, Gabal, Wam, Wa Malak, Palashah, Amishabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashabor, Nalawa, Aiwa, Zorwai, Labanya, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamadya, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Call, Yashwan, Shah, Bayan, Dara, Iowa, Daman, La'adama, Shadamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, because of Ba, because of Zomana, Call, Nasayakwa, Yamyaswa, Ashar, Marwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawaf, Alahaya, Shayatamba, Goggle, Quash, Lapanya, Ka'ash, Ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Haryum, Kun, Tharadakma, Wasa, Wabasa, Pafka, Bahalum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kuala Wayabawashwa, Shunka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ayai, Wayakapara, Wayabagwa, Wayadawa, Kaya, Atha, Shunka, Yahawah, Abaka, Alyuan, Alcohol,
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like Oreb, and like Zaid. Yea, all the princes as Zabal, and as Amunya, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burns a wood, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high Most High over all of the earth. All the earth.
Sorry, excuse me. And with that, class dismissed.